Then you need resin, and then you need all that, yeah.
So what do you have there?
I have a sculpture I made a year ago, and I have not completed it, and I decided to give it to the museum here in honor of my family, which is of the Cottreaus and all Wedgeporters. And I'm glad I finished it and do it, and here it is.
So what's on there?
This is representing the, as you know, the tuna tournaments and families being raised, and the fishing industry and farming, of course, and boat building and lobstering and home, and the first arrivals of Wedgeport.
At the Bit de la Croix there?
Yes. And then I later did the extra part, which I had not completed. So this is the representing the Wedgeport, of course, because it's known for its tunas, and the year it was founded. And took a little while.
No, it's very nice. So you're Reginald Cottreau.
Right?
You live where?
I live in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yeah, Nottingham. Yeah.
And who's your family in Wedgeport?
My father was David Cottreau, and he was born here. And my grandfather was Ben Cottreau, and who I never met. But it was time that I decided to do something for Wedgeport because my parents were here. And my mother was from Piggy's Point, and so we moved to the United States in 1952, and we used to come back here every year, and I used to be in Wedgeport, and I said, I feel part of it, even though I wasn't born here, but I felt very part of it, so I thought I should do something to commemorate Wedgeport and his people, and family, of course. The Cottreaus, who I haven't met too many of.
You have a large family here in Cottreaus.
I guess I must have.
So what are the sculptures made of? What is that made of?
These areas which is protruding, is made of resin.
Resin?
They use for boats and stuff.
Okay.
And the backing is it's called paper mache, and I found a way of making it harder, so it's almost like a piece of rock. You could drop it, and it's very hard. And it's a mixture of linseed oil and paper and joint compound. I don't know what they call that here. And you just mix them together, and you just spread it in the back. So I want it raised because if it's something too flat. The original, it's a sketch when I first did it. So I wanted something to raise so that it would hit light more. And that's why in sculpture you have to have something that the lighting has to hit it properly and to bring out the features, because I did it all in spotlights. And so I would get the proper shade and lightness in the piece.
Okay.
So you carved the resin?
Excuse me?
You carved the resin? You carved
No, it was done in clay.
Then clay?
The original was in clay.
As a mold.
Yeah, then I made a mold out of plaster. And from the plaster, I poured the resin.
And how many hours would you say each one took? Each figure?
Oh. It's been so long now, I have to think. Actually, it's not the time I spend on one. When you do even a painting, you should never do just one area. You have to spread your time throughout the whole thing, because then you're starting to see how it's developing, what you want to change, what you don't want to change. And that's what makes a piece of art. It's not just by building one section of it, it's going through the whole section. Same with a painting. You want to do sky and then you want to do water, but these are just like washes, and then from washes you build. And the same with this, it's all rough. So I try to keep it give it an older feeling, because the workers in those days, you know, they were hard workers, and they had clothes were very neat and perfect. So I kind of kept it organically, you know.
Can you tell me a little bit about your artistic background?
Oh, artistic background. I went to Museum School of Fine Arts, and I graduated there with honors. And I taught there.
Where was that?
Taught there too.
Where was the?
In Boston.
In the Boston?
Yeah, Museum of Fine Arts School in Boston. And I taught there casting, and I taught classes there for the last year I was there. And then I moved on to architectural work, which I was more interested in, religious work. And I worked with the Dean of Architectural School in Boston, and some other workers, sculptors I worked with was Peter Abadi, Ernest Morinon. These were guys who were architectural sculptors. And actually, Peter Abadi was a TV, he had a show on television on Channel 2, and it was an educational channel. And he would do pieces like that. So I got influenced by all these guys. And what else did I do? I won Patriot, I did a head for Cape Coral, Florida. It was a national contest. And I won an honorable mention. I did a head of J. Edgar Hoover, over life size, and they actually wanted to buy it. So I gave them the price, but they didn't accept it.
So are you a full-time resident here in Wedgeport?
No, I'm from New Hampshire. Yeah.
What part?
A place called Nottingham.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we've been there about 6-7 years now. And
But you still come up here in the summer?
Last year was the only year I think I missed. So I've been here to Wedgeport, and we have a house in Peggy's Point. And so we've been living there, and during our weekends there, weekdays and holidays as much as we could.
Thank you.
Yeah.